Hello everyone, Michael here with the Lee Enfield number 5 Mark I Jungle Carbine. This gun was originally made from 1944 to 1947 for the British Army airborne units in the European theater in order to paratroop in with a lighter, smaller weapon to accommodate the airborne operations that was going on. Being that the war ended, it was probably issued but never really used in an airborne capacity at the end of the war. Moving on to the later on, it was first used in the Malaysian conflict that the Commonwealth of British Armed Forces were involved in to prevent the spread of communism, and later on in the Korean War and a few other conflicts that the British were involved in. The internet or Google says that it is still used in today's operations. I just can't imagine that this bolt fed rifle is still used. One of the main issues about this gun is it kicks like a horse or kicks like a mule, as everyone has clearly stated or noted on this gun. It does have a 14-pound recoil, so it does kick pretty good if you don't tuck it into your shoulder very well. And considering that it was designed off the number 4, the number 4 had about a 10-pound recoil to give you some comparison as to what happens when you make guns shorter and you do a little lightning edging and working on the bolt and receiver group in order to accommodate a smaller weapon. It said that this has a wandering zero of sorts whenever it's shot. They said that that's probably why the British had kind of moved away from this gun. More than likely it was because of semi-automatics, things like the M1 Garand, M1 Carbine, and other weapons were being produced, SKSs and whatnot, that had semi-automatic firing receivers that were becoming the modern weapon of choice for anybody's military. One of the few things that I found interesting about these is that so many manufacturers have made this gun as a commercial use. They're almost exact replicas, and it's hard to identify, the military used ones from the civilian used ones or commercial used ones. On the left-hand side of the receiver, there's laser etching, laser penciled, electro-penciled etching that's put on the side. This one's really hard to read. You have to hold it in the light just right and get it angled, and you can start making out the manufacturer and the model number and all those things, as well as the date on the gun. This one looks like a December or 12 of 45. This one is all serial number matching. One of the cool things on the end, just like the M1 Carbine, they came with flash hiders, and this one also accommodated a bayonet. I've yet to get the bayonet, as I just got this gun not too long ago, a few weeks ago, but maybe in the future I will. I also got found a sling for this and already got it on, and I think the slings and bayonets really dress up the weapons as for what they were used for, the military use and all that other business. The ladder sight is a carryover from the number 4s. It goes up to 800 meters. One of the things on these that they put on is the butt pad, a rubberized butt pad. Notice I'm pushing on it. I'm really not making too much of an indenture, but I am getting some flexibility out of this rubber pad, considering it's from 1945 to now, you know, close to 75 years old. So that's pretty good. When I got this gun, it was on a sporter stock, but I guess the guy that had it had kept the original stock, as the stock is serial numbered and it is matching with the gun. So all in all, I feel like I got really lucky on that grab. The magazine does eject. It has a release right here, or it has the option to where you can load it from the top with stripper clips. These things, like I said, do kind of tend to have a wandering zero, or not extremely accurate as far as shooting for distances. I generally shoot about 80 to 100 yards with any of my guns that I have. I do have the abilities to back up to about 150. I haven't backed up that far with this one, as seem to be having trouble hitting the target at the shorter ranges with it. I don't know if it's me or if it's the gun, but I think it's still a cool piece of history, and something pretty cool and unique to own, as I'm more of the collector. However, I do like to be able to shoot my weapons and stuff that I get. This one is missing a rear ring. I don't know if it fell off into a box or something and they just forgot about it, or if it was just something that been missing for a while. I've yet to look those up and try to get those as well. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was the 303s that go in these guns. They're fairly reasonably priced, and they pack a lot of bang for the buck in consideration to the uniqueness of military surplus weapons and their ammunition that you can get. Now, the ones I found when I got this one are these WPAs, or wolf ammo right here. These are non-corrosive, but the cases are steel. One of the things I've found, and I've seen other people on YouTube talk about, is that the steel in these tend to swell and don't function just as smoothly as possible. However, the wolf ammo seems to be a little more accurate in these, for whatever reason. I use wolf ammo on a lot of guns that I have, and it seems to be you know, good enough for me to ding metal as frequently as I do. All right, like I was saying about the wolf ammo, I like using the wolf, even though the steel brass seems to sometimes stick or swell up a little bit when you shoot it. But the magazine will hold 10 rounds. And overall, if you can get past the kick, it's kind of a fun little gun to shoot, in my opinion. Like with anything else, I like to make sure that these things are well lubed up before going and shooting, as they are some older weapons and whatnot. Hope you heard that ding. It means I'm right on target as I'm shooting, but it does have a tendency to not hit the same place twice, 2 shots in a row. Like I said, a fun little gun to shoot, fun little gun to throw some rounds down range and ding up some metal. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.